back with the George Groves Boxing Club. I'm with Dec, and I've brought you, Dec, down to my old amateur club.
Yeah. Well, this kind of is, isn't it? It's not the one that you used to box in, though.
No, it's not. No, it's not. The geographical location has changed, but it's still the same club. It's the Dale Youth Amateur Boxing Club, Dec.
Why are we here?
We are here because we are with my protege. Is that the way you say it?
Yeah.
Protege?
Protege.
Protege?
Prodigy.
Lucas Roehig.
Here he is. Let's see, right? He's here. As if by magic.
And Lucas is turning pro. So I thought we'd do an episode about the process of turning pro, and then you get to meet this super talent.
Yeah, finally, because you've been going on about him for a while.
In fact,
you know when we did the pilot for this podcast some time ago now?
No. Yeah.
I think you mentioned Lucas in that. It didn't make the edit, but I remember you saying it. And so it's been a long process. Because you've been like doing pads here on Sunday mornings, right? Basically for the last, 3 years?
Few years, yeah.
Including when we were doing the pod. It was only a matter of time until someone caught your eye.
Yeah.
So how did it happen? Like how did this come about? Was it just one of them where you're actually paint a picture? Sunday morning you're in here. How many kids are there?
It's got to be about 50 guys in there, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
All ages and sizes.
A couple of girls, yeah. There'll be a few. So it's a senior session. So it's, for adults, but there are a few youngsters in there. Late teens. Usually ones who just like the camaraderie of the older team, or just they're too big, they need the sparring or whatnot. But yeah, there's, what do you say, Lucas, about 40, 50 guys in here, maybe?
Yeah, about 40.
40. And we'll be up the road. We're in Notting Hill. There's plenty of hills around here, so we're going to do our hill sprints.
Oh, you do the running first?
Yeah, do the running first Sunday morning, come down. So leisurely starts, getting in for 10, soft start, 10:30. Everyone has a little big sigh. Put your running shoes on. We're going out. We're going to tear it up. Lucas is usually at the front. There's a couple there give you a run for your money, though, isn't there?
Yeah, very good runners.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, you get a couple of new guys that will just come in and were never boxed before, but like ex-footballers, ex-athletes, and they kill it on the runs. So
they can run.
It's good competition.
Yeah.
Every week, good competition.
So then you come back, you've done your run, and then it's gloves on, everyone's punching.
Yeah, everyone's punching then.
And that's when you would be like, right, I'll hold some pads.
So I'll grab the pads, and there you sort of look a little bit lost for a little bit. I mean, the first few times I came down here, I was like, almost like embarrassed to get your pads out your bag. You're like, if no one wants to do pads with me, And then there's like,
what's the oldest person in there? Like boxer.
You can come if you want.
No, but what I'm saying is, does anyone remember you?
Oh yeah, no. There's not even a picture of me up on the wall anywhere. Yeah. But Mick's good. The main man, Mick, my coach, he's still here, and yeah, he's full of stories.
He won a world title. Get on the pads with him.
There's always a massive queue.
Is there? Yeah.
Massive queue.
What, for George?
Yeah. Me next.
Yeah.
You don't end up being able to do everyone's because there's so many people, but
yeah.
He would just stay as long as possible to try to get everyone done. But it's basically everyone just wants to get a piece of the champ. 2-3 rounds, and then it makes their day. So.
You remember the first time you got on the pads with George?
Not the first time, because it's been so many times now.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time coming to the gym, and George was there on the Sunday. I was amazed. I was like, wow, he's world champion coming to the gym. I mean, the first thing I asked, can I get a picture of you, champ? And then we got a picture. And it makes you train so much extra harder when you actually got a world champion, that's in the gym, that's looking at you train, and it gives you that extra 10% in everything you do on the run. You want to impress him, you want to hit the bag, you want him to look at you and say, yeah, he's a talent, and
And same on the pads, you think, fuck, I better look good here.
Yeah.
Don't want to waste it.
You're sharp, you're focused, you're treating it like a fight because you want to impress. You want to impress, and he was impressed. So I done my job.
Job done.
I done my job.
Yeah, no, Mick will go, he's a good lad. He's a good lad.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
so you got a little bit of inside scoop.
Yeah, you get like, he's a good lad. And then, but then when there's like 4 or 5 people have said he's a good lad about the same guy, you're like, he's really good. Yeah, he's good. He's good. See him on pads, and then it's only getting once a week, so I'm not there to critique too much. Like, it might have been a shock to the system when I said I'm going to train you, and then I'm just picking on him constantly, like, do this, do that, do this, do that. Whereas at that point, you want it to be fun and try and show a little bit. Plus, like, I'm learning as well, because the tail end of my boxing was professional boxing, training for a 12-round fight. So I can do the wander around, set it up with a feint, little walk, set it up with a
3
feint.
minutes.
These guys got 3 threes. Like, you got to go for it. So, I had to change and adapt a little bit. And he's really good. Like, he punches hard. So just couple of little, like, things that, maybe this, maybe that, like, earlier on, like, while he was still amateur. Yeah. But, he was flying, and he was ready to turn professional. And I turned pro at 20, so I was, and it felt like a good age, And you really, as an amateur, you're working on these Olympic cycles. It's every 4 years, because if you win something at the Olympics, it's something for life, isn't it? It's an achievement that not many get to do. It's an incredible feat, but also it adds value when you turn professional. But it's tough. It's tough for those guys in those, on GB camp, going around the world, sparring and fighting the best guys in the world. They get mileage. The body takes gets mileage, and then at the end of the day, you might get pipped at the post. You might lose in the first round. You might get an injury. You might have something else, and you actually come away with nothing. So, I've always been of the mindset of like, yeah, great. If that Olympic cycle falls perfectly for you and you get in there in your late teens, early 20s, great. But if you're going to have to wait to your mid-20s, then maybe the better option is to turn professional. And Lucas agreed with me. He's like, yeah, I think I'm feeling good, feeling fresh, feeling strong. Wants to turn pro. There's still so much that he can actually improve upon, which I think is great as well. These guys who are almost the best version of themselves in their mid-20s, late 20s, and then turning professional. That's an uphill battle in many ways, Deck, So you still want to have plenty of room for improvement, basically.
Was it a good coincidence, though, that Lucas is a puncher, kind of big-ish, kind of athletic like you, not a southpaw featherweight or something? Like, you know what I mean? Is it something that you want? You want someone who you can teach your style to, or you can kind of relay those things and use those attributes?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we'll get to see him soon. Everyone's going to get to see him soon when he starts making his debut and fighting on telly. But yeah, he's a fighter after my own heart.
Yeah. How low's a lead hand?
Yeah, no. I said, he can do what you want. I mean, amateur boxing, they've all got high hands, didn't they? And then I'm like, you can drop it. Just if you drop it, know that it is down. Yeah. And don't have it like, as an amateur, I have my left hand here. So you can still see the whole side of my face. But I thought I had my hands up.
Yeah.
So like, I think I'm covered. I'm not. You're better off having it down and knowing it's down. So
okay, that's the secret, is it?
Yeah, okay. But he's a sharp shooter. He punches hard. He's athletic. He's teachable. So he's very. You show him something, he gets it. He understands it. So I like working with, first and foremost, an orthodox fighter, because I don't do everything backwards. But a guy with intent to hurt, to punch hard, to finish, athletic, and teachable, and he's all them things. So I'm doing all right. Happy days.
So Lucas, we were talking before we started, and you were obviously in the gym when George turned up, but you were kind of in and out a bit. You weren't here all the time, or you were playing basketball and stuff, and also not even in the area, like up in North London and whatnot. So what was your route to like here?
To here, so I joined this gym when I was 17, but at that time I was living in a hostel in East London. So I was travelling all the way from East London, Walthamstow, to here.
That's a trek.
So it was a big journey. And then...
No line bikes.
No, I did no line bike. Yeah. It's all right on a line bike.
Yeah, no.
So you're doing that on... how many times do you train in a week then?
4 times a week.
From Walthamstow to Ladbroke Grove.
What saved me though is that I had sponsorship with Everyone Active. So I would do a lot of my training at the Everyone Active gyms. So that helped me a lot, the Champions of the Future scheme. But when I saw George and I saw, he comes from the same area, we're both from Hammersmith, both from Northwest, and what he was able to do with his life, I said it's worth it. It's worth the sacrifice now. You're not gonna. It was a difficult position because financially, as an amateur, you're not getting paid. You're doing it for the love of it, and you're doing it for the future, aspect of that you're gonna be a pro athlete and the dream, and you're gonna be earning at some point. So I sacrificed, and I travelled, and trained hard, and it's paid off now. And then even at some point, I moved from East to South London. I was staying in a hostel in South London and still travelling up. And then I think at that point, I was able to get on the GB team, so that helped a lot. where I was getting a bit of wages. Now I didn't have to work like odd jobs here and there, and I could dedicate more time to training. But it did give me the confidence also to know that there's other fighters who have, you know, better structure, better opportunity, and I was still able to compete at the top of the sport, win Tri-Nations, become #1, you know, at my weight, win all these other tournaments with really just based on talent and ability. So that made me realize that I have that side of things, but I also need the structure. I need, you know, a coach that's going to refine me, refine my skills, and take me to that next level. And then now with George, that's what I've got. I've got everything that I've wanted, everything that I envision in my head. It's crazy because I almost envisioned this and I was thinking, if I can just get to this point, I'll be okay, you know? I'll be okay and then get to the top.
At what point did you stop playing basketball? Like, was there like, so I remember Joe Joyce had like rugby and boxing. He was like, I can't do both. But you probably could do both if you wanted to. And I assume it's kind of applicable, the like, explosive athleticism, things like that. Like, they kind of work quite well with boxing. Yeah.
I probably stopped, to be honest with you, around like 16. I kind of just realised the levels.
Really?
I realised the levels, to be honest with you. I think we went to like a camp in Spain, and then we were playing with some international players, so there were some Americans, everything. And I was like, these guys are crazy. If I thought I was good, no.
What happened? What did they, like, give us some terminology? Like,
I mean, just in short, they smoked us. They treated us like babies, you know, just trash talking, baby food, you know, dunking, doing windmills, everything. And it made me realize that maybe boxing is for me.
Yeah, you're thinking, I reckon I can knock him out. Though.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But it's a non-contact sport, so I had to just take the loss. And but it's good that happened. It's good that happened. And in terms of basketball, I think fighters like Lomachenko, when I've watched previous, like their 24/7s, they've always said, try play as much other sports as possible because that helps the competitive aspect of boxing and your agility, hand-eye coordination in basketball, you know, all these mad dribble moves, and I have to have a high IQ as well to be a team player. So I still try play as many sports as I can because I know that will help with boxing. But I realised probably around 16, 17, I'm not making it to the NBA.
Not quite getting there, no.
But I got more chance of becoming a world champion boxer.
Yeah.
And so I made the right choice and now fully invested into boxing, everything, you know. 24 hours of the day, eat, sleep, train, repeat, boxing, everything boxing.
Nice. That's what you want to hear, isn't
That's
it?
what
As
you
a
want to hear,
manager
isn't it?
trainer.
Yeah. He's here today. It's at this point, I'm always trying to reflect back on what I was doing, what
so
I
you
was thinking, what I was
20,
feeling.
you were 20 when you said that,
20.
and Lucas was 21.
Yeah.
So very similar, good parallels there.
And you would train all day, every day, as many times. You know, you feel like you never get tired. You do. You just don't actually notice it. I've got to have to rein him in. You know, I gave him a week off, and you got to check online. He's on the treadmill, or he's
sparring,
or he's dunking guys.
I saw that.
Back in the on the court.
Back on the court.
On the court.
Yeah.
You like badminton, don't you?
Yeah.
Pretty good at badminton.
Badminton, tennis.
Yeah.
He's competitive. Like, he's super competitive. So, yeah, I let him come down. He still comes down Sunday mornings, and he's got to try and smoke everyone on the hills. And I like that. I had that, that competitive edge where, you had to deem it worthy, and pretty much anything that has any sort of athleticism involved was worthy, and then you have to win. Almost at all costs. So it's up to me to sort of rein him in, I suppose, to protect him in that respect.
Big job.
Yeah, but he's good to go, which is great at this point. Like, he's fit, he's healthy. He's in a fortunate position where he's got a bigger advantage than I had. I was an amateur middleweight, 75 kilo, going up to super middleweight as a pro. I had a kilo to put on, and you're like, a kilo, yes, I'm going to be solid. He's going up from amateur cruiserweight to professional cruiserweight, which was around the 86 kilo mark, up to what is. It's 90.2.
91-ish.
I should know exactly. Yeah. Just done my trainer's course.
90.7.
90.7.
90.7.
He's on it.
Yeah. So you've got nearly 5 kilos heavier to kind of put on, so to speak. But then the other
he's
thing
there
is
already, to be honest.
But when you were boxing as a middleweight, you had to weigh in every day, etc. So we know that it's kind of easier, quote unquote, or you can push it a bit further as a professional because you can, it's only once pre-fight. So that's a good position to be in for you. Not so much for you. As a middleweight doing super middle.
Yeah, because you've got a kilo to put on, and then you've got the extra 24-hour weigh-in to play with as well. But it's a process. My role model as such turnover was David Hay, and I think he boxed at light heavyweight as an amateur and then went up to cruiserweight. And the difference you see of him in his first 5 fights to when he unifying division against Macronelli, it's night and day, isn't it, in terms of what his body type looks like. It's fun, isn't it? For someone who loves training, loves being fit, like this man, and he can actually be in a what's the opposite?
Surplus.
Surplus. Calorie surplus.
Yeah. And just trying to build muscle. And is that your shed as well? I'm seeing some of that training. Is he doing stuff at your house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a posh shed.
It's not
mate.
a shed, I know, harsh.
Jesus Christ, yeah. No, his vertical jump is ridiculous.
The shed. Oh, is it? That's basketball for you?
Yeah.
I see you slam dunking. That was like miles off the floor.
Yeah. It's a lot of it's technique, but a lot of it it's quite impressive. I got a couple posters the other day as well. So, but yeah, I don't know. I love jumping.
Yeah.
It gives you, like, dunking on someone is the equivalent of knocking someone out in boxing. So, if you can jump, if you can dunk on someone, it's like getting a KO.
I did, yeah. I had a similar experience. I went to a camp in Luxembourg, and it was like they were so good, man. And it was just Europeans, and they were unbelievable. And you're just like, it's a different sport. Yeah. Proper different sport.
Show the levels.
Yeah, properly. Yeah, it really did.
Should have took up boxing.
Yeah, I know. That was the problem, but I was like, nah, fuck that. I'll just go to uni.
Right back.
yeah, exactly. So that you caught my attention though. You said you were in hostel when you were 17 in Walthamstow and you're from around here.
Yeah.
So you left home early and just went it alone.
Yeah, pretty much left home early. But, I think it was a good thing in a way because I feel like I've matured very quick for my age. I learned independence and learned, to get anywhere in life, it takes a lot of sacrifice and no one's going to give you nothing. You're going to have to earn it every step of the way. Even though right now I'm in a privileged position, I still have to earn it. I still have to listen to what my manager and trainer says. Need to be in the gym every day, not get big-headed when things are going well and maintain a level head. And so I think that taught me a lot of the realities of life and the independence and what it's going to need to take to get out of a underprivileged situation to get into a better situation and better my life and also my family's life, because it's an opportunity that I know as a young man I can't let go. I've got to make the most of it.
Got to nurture that hunger in your deck. You want to make it as easy for him as possible, but also as hard as possible.
Yeah, like the balance.
Yeah, obviously you want to maximise his, everything. I want to maximise his training, but I also want to maximise his brand, and it's not easy. And lots of times I'm learning on the job and going back to previous sort of instances that I've had. But that element of hunger, being a hungry fighter, he should be a hungry fighter because he hasn't even had his pro debut yet. Do you know what I mean? And his potential is everything. He can get to the stars, and I do not doubt that he will. But you got to stay hungry to do that. And you hear even Anthony Joshua at the start is what was his line? His line was
stay humble.
Stay hungry, stay humble. And you could tell that even at an early stage of his career, he decided that was something to really buy into because that's the way that he would be able to maximise his potential. Is to, and it's hard to keep saying it. It's hard to keep living it. Exactly. And I think that's why he's had the career that he's had, and he's been able to come back at times when it looks like he's finished because he's been able to revert back to that feeling of I've still got something to prove. I'm still hungry. So if you can have that, that's a certain benefit, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got everything to gain.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose, everything to gain.
So you were self-managed from what point?
Just before my first world title fight against Froch.
Okay, it was then. Okay,
Yeah.
it was the Adam Booth split.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope you don't mind me saying, I remember you were someone as a manager, as a self-managed person who got what you wanted, probably pissed people off in the process when you were negotiating and that, because you wouldn't roll over for anyone. Do you think the promoters are going?
I was looking after my fighter, which was me.
Yeah. Do you think promoters now are going? Oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
He was just doing a podcast, and now he's fucking back. We're going to have to deal with him in business sense again. Is that?
Yeah.
How different are you now as a manager to how you were then?
Well, yeah. I mean, when I'm representing someone else, you are very different, and I've got a lot more wisdom. And he's in a totally different stage of his career than I was. You know, I was at the stage where I was fighting for a world title. If I'd won that world title, then sort of I've climbed the tree. I'm at the top, and I can I've got a lot of power, really, to a certain degree. If you're commercially valuable, you're a world champion. There's other big fights out there to be had. Then, you know, you can dictate quite a bit. Yeah. At this point, you know, I'm trying to create value for him, create value for both of us. You know, try and get people excited about this partnership. You know, this is new. It's new for him, obviously, turning professional, but it's new for me. It's my first time I'm going to lead a corner. Yeah. You know, I'm going to be the main coach.
Shit, yeah, I didn't even think of that. Fuck.
So hey, I'm going to lead a corner. Like, I'm not going to. But he's you know, I'm not going to worry him right now, but you know, that's going to be a big night for me too. You know, I've got my trainer's license out. I think I mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, more important.
Went up there, passed the test.
What are you going to wear?
What I'm going to wear? We're going to be.
No, but you're going to be like a goose and denim jacket, like, or a little hat, or you're going to do like proper.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think like it's up to me as the individual? I can do what I want, or do you think I've got to follow the main man in the corner?
I think you go for whatever you want.
Do you reckon,
but I do think you should get something and stick with it. Right. Even if you were paper clips, weren't you, on your...
That tie, I'll get that big
Get the tie out. Go get the tie.
Get the tie.
Go get the tie, yeah.
That could work.
Yeah, shit. Hat? Well, what about a full suit? Maybe the girl suit.
No, but don't forget, I've got to perform. It's my first time in the corner. I can't be like hindered by a little suit. I can't get through the ring.
Yeah. Chris Eubank Senior managed it in like winkle pickers and a waistcoat.
Again, a little bit of trivia actually. We did. I went on the trainer's course the other day, and Les Potts, shout out Les Potts, who took the course, did a fantastic job for the British Boxing Board of Control. They had to change the wording because there is corner attire about what you can wear, and it just said jacket, and they meant like obviously like the Cutsman jacket.
Yeah.
But Eubank Senior took that upon him to have his joppers on, proper and so jacket. He got in there with a proper jacket, and they're like, "What are you doing? You can't wear a jacket like that in the corner." And he's like,
says jacket.
Yes, jacket. So now it's turned to like Cutsman jacket.
Okay.
There isn't a drawing or anything.
Mate, the pressure. I mean, the pressure's going to be on you. Well, not pressure, but like everyone's eyes will be on you.
Yeah.
It's like George Moses' first corner.
So
you'll be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, he could. You know, put him in them. I think we might end up with Grant gloves. Something spiteful. He's a spiteful fight. Yeah, shout out Grant.
They're good for your hands as well, aren't they? Orthopedic.
Yeah, are they?
Yeah.
You're sleeping.
They're the best.
Other good brands available as well, but I have. I don't think I won't be nervous. I'll be excited, you know, and hopefully he will be too. But yeah, we're working. I mean, that's so far, to be honest, the hardest point I think is like making the right decision on which way to go. You know, because when I turned professional, I signed a promotional contract before I even signed the management's contract in way, because I signed with Haymaker and I had Adam Booth as my manager. Right. But then when I spoke with, you know, Tony Sims, who was representing probably Hennessy at the time. I spoke with Johnny Eames and a bunch of others as well, and it was like I'll get you a deal with Warren, or I'll get you a deal with Hennessy, or I'll get you a deal with Maloney, or whoever the promoters were at the time. Whereas, you know, this is slightly different. Where like, I want to be your trainer and be your manager, and then we'll go out and we'll find your promoter. But I'm not essentially affiliated to anyone, because I was signed to Warren. I signed with Matchroom. I signed with Sowlands. I fought on a Golden Boy show or two. I fought on a Mayweather card. I fought everyone. Yeah, and I sort of worked around, and I feel like hopefully I had great relationships with everyone. I tried to keep up good relationships since. times change as well, don't it? Like, as the years go on, all of a sudden you think, oh, Eddie Hearn, he's the most powerful promoter out there. And, and then one minute you think, oh, actually, maybe it's Queensberry and Frank Warren. He's got this big fight coming up, this big show. And then, there's Misfits over there. Talk about Misfits Pros. What's that? I'd like to have a little look.
It'd be nice to be on Sky as well.
Sky's lovely. Yeah, Sky's
there's more
big in boxing, but DAZN now is brand new. That wasn't around when I was boxing.
Yeah.
They call it a platform. It's not a channel, it's a platform. What is a platform, Dick?
I thought it was a pair of shoes. No, but there's more. You're right. There's more promoters with more TV deals than ever before. Certainly when you were in this position. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's good and it's bad.
Good for Lucas and you.
It's good and it's bad. I mean,
that's
choice.
Terrible answer.
No, but choice is the root of all evil, isn't it?
Is it? Is that the saying?
Well, it is. It's the root of all misery, at least.
Get that on a T-shirt.
Choice
is the root of all misery.
That is
profound.
Say right, Deck.
Yeah, it's true, actually. Because then you just
you can have a treat, mate.
Yeah.
You can have a Mars bar or a chocolate milkshake before bed. Right, you're 5 years old.
Yeah,
you pick one.
Fuming.
You get into bed. You're thinking, did I make the right fucking choice?
Yeah. Okay.
So, but if you've only got one choice, then that's all it is.
Okay. Well, you got loads of choices.
We got loads of choices. We've got to make the right choice, bars. But we're speaking to all the right people, and I want them to be invested in Lucas. Like, that's what it's about. Because we've got sponsors now that are invested in Lucas, so they want to come on the journey with us. They want and we want to get them in there from the start. I mean, and I think Lucas totally buys into this and agrees. It is a journey, and if you can find the right people to help you along the way, you need that help. Then you're in a strong position. But as of yet, no announcement, do we? But we've had a few offers in now. We're gonna mull it over. I've got to manage his expectations in terms of he's desperate for a debut, and I do not blame him. I would be exactly the same. He said, when we first started working, I was like, I think September, and I thought I was buying time when I said September. Now it might be January. Like, who knows? But he's ready to fight now. He's ready to fight tomorrow. He's done some fantastic work in the meantime, and obviously add value. He's boxed. He's sparred. With 2 world champions in his division. He's consolidated himself as a cruiserweight now, which I think was a process. He sparred with Ben Whittaker and Craig Richards and loads of other really good fighters. Who have fought at high levels. So
which world champions?
Chris Billam-Smith, CBS, soon to unify, and Jai Opataya. So he's in there with Opataya.
How was that?
Great work.
Yeah.
Great work.
Yeah. Light work, he says.
Yeah, light work. Baby food. That must have been unbelievable.
Yeah. He dunked on him.
Yeah. Afterwards, one-on-one.
Yeah, nah. I don't want him on the wrong side of he's an intense guy. But yeah, that's a champion I look up to in terms of, as a cruiserweight, he moves almost like a middleweight in a way. And he's got a high boxing IQ, great southpaw, great backhand. And I wish he wasn't in Australia so far away. I wish he was here so I could get in some work with him every camp. Because, that's what I just want to improve, and I'm very eager now. I feel as if I'm ready for my debut, and I'm just very eager to showcase my skills. I feel like I've improved so much with George, where he's refined the skills, and pro boxing is almost a completely different sport. So I'm learning new things, and I just feel amazing in the gym, to be honest with you. And I just want to showcase my skills, showcase my ability, and put on great performances.
Yeah, we're in November now. You last boxed in April.
April, yeah, so a long time. Wasn't it? Yeah, long time.
Yeah, so you must be absolutely desperate to fight.
And especially, it's totally different.
And you won that fight, but did you get injured? That was why you couldn't do that?
Yeah, I got injured. I boxed Elliot Massey in the semi, but I got injured. And it was almost a blessing because that spurred me on. So I said, it's time for me to go over. And I can't wait to punch someone in those 10-ounce gloves. And hopefully they're Grants. Hopefully they're Grants because they're big punches gloves. And I'm developing into my man body. And I definitely know I want to be a hard-hitting, fast, athletic, and cruiserweight, also with a high boxing IQ,
Good
defensively sound, I have the whole round package.
What are you looking for from a prospect as a journalist?
Someone who can speak well.
Yep.
Someone who's got a story. Like that's what I asked about the hostels and what it's like, where you came from, and someone who can convey that.
Yeah.
Someone who knocks people out, to be honest, as we know. And
It's got to be exciting.
the bigger you are, the better. Like as much in terms of size. Like we know that if you're a heavyweight, that's why Joshua was. Like it's not a secret, is it? And like especially in this country, cruiserweight now at the moment. You just mentioned Elliot Elamasi, who beat in the Nationals, just turned over with Queensberry, just had his debut. Like there's already buzz around him. You're on like the same sort of path. So he's a couple of years older than you, but still also a young guy. So like that is what excites journalists, is because you think, right, there's going to be a story here. The fact that he's with you as well helps, because it that bit of stardust and people going, oh, George is in the corner. You know, that sort of thing is perfect, like combination from like a media point of view, without a shadow of a doubt.
His alias, we're going to go with Lights Out, Lucas Roehig, which I really like.
Yeah.
Like, you came up with that, didn't you?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what
Lights Out
about
Lucas.
what about ring walk track? Have you got any suggestions for us? Because that's what we used to do when we used to do this.
Yeah. What would you?
Podcast.
I don't know. It depends. What's your thing? Yeah, but what's your like? What do you like? What music do you like?
I mean, there's a
Got to be
couple
something that resonates with you, isn't it?
I love all of the lights.
Oh, that's
I thought
good.
Kelbrook, you had,
Yeah.
you know, he had a banging tune.
And he's been long gone.
Yeah, he's been long gone. So I think it's time for the new generation to maybe revive it, bring it back to the boxing game, and you know, turn on those lights.
All the lights out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So would you have a sing along, or would you have something just like intense, something that just gets the blood flowing?
You know what I didn't like is I liked intense like Spitfire. I didn't like certain ones, the more like upbeat ones.
No.
You know what I mean? Like David Hay, like Ain't No Stopping Us Now, which is synonymous with David Hay. It just seemed a bit too like happy and cheerful. And then he goes in and chins someone. It doesn't really add up.
It's got a Manchester intensity.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm always, fucking out. Like Lee Selby used to come out to like a big L tune. It was like really like hard. And then I thought it was much better, personally.
Yeah.
What I also don't like
is there a big intense tune that you can sing along to?
Spitfire.
No, you can't sing along to that.
No. Yeah,
There isn't, is there? There must be one. If anyone knows that track.
An intense tune you can sing along to.
Yeah.
No, probably not. Yeah. But Lights Out Lucas Roehig is really good.
Yeah.
It's solid, isn't it?
Yeah.
What? James Tony-esque.
James Tony-esque, yeah.
Anyone else?
There's been a few Lights Out. Ian Lewison was Lay 'em Out Lewison, which I always thought was pretty good.
The referee?
No, that's Ian John Lewis. Ian Lewison who boxed Joe Joyce's debut.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
That Ian Lewis.
That Ian Lewison. So you're like obviously first year you want to be like active. What's the goal? Like ideal
Active
world.
as possible. Ideal
How many
world,
fights?
a fight every 2 months, so 6 fights in the year.
Nice. What did you do in first year?
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah. So the contract I signed was 6 fights a year. It's great if you can fight in clusters actually. So like. You won't just box every 8 weeks, and at that stage at the start, you could box every week if you wanted to. But if you got 3 fights in 6 weeks, then you might get a call. Oppenheimer goes, "Do you fancy a trip to where would he be? Brisbane?
Saudi.
Saudi.
Gold Coast, isn't he? But yeah,
Gold
he's always
Coast.
in Saudi.
Gold Coast is a bit far, but he's Saudi. Let's go
Yeah.
Saudi. We go Saudi for a couple of weeks, get some legendary sparring, some high quality sparring, and you ain't got to fuss about, I'm actually missing a fight, or I should be at home doing this. You do strength phases, but you'll peak for a camp when you for a fight when you're a world champion. So you'll have different phases of camp. Whereas you could do a strength phase in his position, even though it's actually detrimental to you fighting next week,
still
but
go and win.
You're fine because your level's above where you should be. So you're building for the future. You're building for everything you're doing now. You're building for the future. You got to have that, and the future ain't. I want to fight for an English title one day or a British title. No, I want a unified division. I want a headline Wembley Stadium. That'll be his.
That's the goal. I bet. Where do you land on that? Like, are you thinking world champion, multiple belts, all that?
Yeah, that's the aspiration.
The top, yeah.
100%. Want to add to the long list of world champions from Del Youth.
Yeah.
George Groves, James DeGale, Daniel Dubois. So I want to be on that list. And, that would mean a lot to me. And that's the goal isn't no short-term aspirations, English title, British title. I know I'm on that level and in terms of, and I want to go all the way to the top. And that's as an athlete, any athlete, it's kind of almost all or nothing, you know. Either want to reach the pinnacle of the sport, or, you know, you're just going to crash out. So definitely want to add my name to the long list of world champions from Del Youth, and, you know, ingrain my legacy.
And our dear friend, avid listener, Chris Billum-Smith.
What were you going to say, James DeGale?
James DeGale, yeah. James don't miss an episode either.
No.
There he is now. Chris, and like Chris, there, you know, a Brit winning the world title. He's now in unification. You know, in his division, it just makes it that much more real. You know, like because you know if it's just you know Americans and it's very abstract. You don't see it, you don't feel it. Whereas like no, you can become world champion, fulfill your dreams. And to be honest, like, and Chris will say the same. Like you know, it was no
one expected that.
Big razzmatazz about him turning over. Do you know what I mean? He's worked hard. He's ticked every box. He took his opportunities when they've been presented, and look where he is now. Yeah. So you know, it's great. But he's already done some rounds with Chris. We get him hanging out with Chris from time to time because it rubs off.
It can only rub off. That guy's the most diligent boxer, professional boxer I've ever met. Like, and it must be weird for him as well because like you're his hero, like his idol, and then now he's a world champion, kind of elder statesman in British boxing now actually, and you're like. You're prodigy, and then you're the one sparring. It must have been quite strange for him.
Yeah, but it shows it's totally possible. In terms of, and he shows the blueprint of where he's always been dedicated, always been in the gym. You know, that it shows the blueprint. You just got to stay consistent and believe in yourself. He's always had that belief, and I have that belief in myself, where I know I can reach that same pinnacle, that same position, and you know, he made his dreams come true. And I hope to do the same.
Would you, if you'd had a chat with him, he'd gone, oh, do you know what, I just want to win the English title, and that'd be sweet. Would you have, I can't see
I said, that sounds great, mate. I'll find you a new coach.
Yeah. You'd be like, there's a queue here. Thanks for coming.
Oh, like, yeah,
that must be good to hear. That's what you need to hear, though, as someone, like, you've been there and done it, so if you want to get your teeth into something.
You know, maybe I'm wrong in thinking that way, but, you know, lots of successful people who I've sort of come in contact with over the years have that sort of mindset, you know, and therefore I've adopted that mindset. I think it works, you know. I think you have to, you know, now you'll get your mind coaching to talk about visualizing the win. Like, I didn't know that was a new thing. You've been doing it since I was, 12 years old. Like, visualize. You don't usually visualize the bout. You visualize your arm getting raised. I'll be away boxing for England all over the world in tournaments, visualizing the win. Same when I was a professional. And then when you're not visualizing the win, you're running around Old Deer Park in the pitch black, visualizing becoming world champion. These guys are chasing each other up Nightingale Lane or round here at in Notting Hill. Landdown Rise, is that our local spot? Up past the church, back down, and whoever's in front of them, they're dreaming about catching them up and murdering them because they want to be the world champions. Yeah? And then it's the only way to be, I believe. Like you got to reach for the stars and beyond. Otherwise, you just won't get there. Like not in boxing, it's too hard, it's too brutal, it's too, the resilience that I'm always banging on about people needing comes in when you show the resilience because you're actually still shooting for much higher than you've actually got. If you already think you're there and stuff don't go your way, well, then you're always going to crumble, aren't you? You're always going to say, well, the fight will leave you. But until that point, you got to go all in deck.
So practically, what does it mean? Because I remember when we started this podcast, you said, on that very first episode, you said, when you do the school run, they say to you, the other dads and mums say to you, what are you doing today? And you're like, nothing.
Yeah.
Now you've got something to do.
Oh, yeah. So I've got to go now. I'm going to the gym.
So what does it mean? Like, how often you're training? Like, are you in here? Like, what's the setup? Are you local now? Back in the end, so to speak. So what's the plan? Like, how does it work?
Yeah, so we'll be in the gym, punching, refining, 5 days a week. 5 days a week. So, at the moment, I can't remember which rib it is, but one of the ribs at the back that connects to the spine is out of whack. So, no, mine. And I think, so it comes across, if I was having a heart attack or just indigestion or something else, but the pain comes in the front of the pec, but it's actually from the back. And I'm pretty sure that's from Lucas padding me, whacking me, which I'm happy about means he's punching hard, you know. So we're in here refining, and when he's not refining, then, you know, just maturing the body really. He's only 21, so and as I say, he's putting on a bit of weight. So, you know, we'll do loads of fun stuff really. Doing the strength sessions we're doing are fun. You know, they're hard, but they're fun. I've given him some sprint sessions that he gets on with. Might take him to the track soon, stuff like that. So he's training like a full-time pro, but he's still hungry, keeping him hungry. So that's literally every week so far. There's no point going into like a camp, and I always find that a bit weird when, you know, 2-0 fighters talk about, I'm going to camp now. It's like, mate, you're just in the gym. Do you know what I mean? You're just in the gym. Just keep busy in the gym. Because if you fight on Saturday, you don't say, all right, I'm starting my next camp Monday. Cool that if you want, but you're just going back to work Monday. Yeah? Camp starts when you've hit your first 12-rounder, you're fighting for a title, and the fight's set, and you've got, you know, 10, 12 weeks. But until then, just it is now his full-time job to be fit and healthy. To become a professional license holder, to become a professional boxer with a British Boxing Board of Control, you have to go have a meeting with them, and they will recommend you for your license as such. Obviously, with his amateur pedigree, there was never going to be a problem. Once you're recommended, you've got to pass the medicals, which are getting tougher, to be honest. And you know, I suppose it's good and it's bad. You know, Juan Manuel Marquez wouldn't have got a license for the British Boxing Board of Control because of his brain scans, but in the era that he boxed, he did, and he was fine, totally fine. So safety's a big thing now. You know, it's great, I get it, but also it's a bit nerve-wracking. You're like, God, I hope you pass your brain scan, mate. You know, it's not like it's not an evident thing or an obvious thing. I've had to do. I've got my trainer's license come through. I'm going to put that up on the wall. Next to my lad. My lad's just got his pen license at school, so he's got his handwriting.
Legoland driver license.
Pen license. That'll go up, boom, got my picture up there. So I'm almost got them all now. Trainer, manager, former fighter, probably promoter.
Probably entertainer third.
Yeah. And then, it's just sort of getting it out there that we're working together, that we're a force. Don't take us lightly. We're ready to go. And then, you know, hopefully we do a deal soon with someone where there's another announcement, another launch, debut, get everyone super excited. And then where we go, Lucas?
To the top.
And it's like, I saw the T-shirt, you got a big sponsor behind you as well. I saw that on Instagram. Yeah. Rockstar Games, the GTA behemoth of gaming.
Yeah, look, we don't know anything about GTA 6, all right?
No. That's what they care about.
We don't know anything about GTA
When's
6.
It out? Never mind this go. When's GTA 6 out?
Yeah. No, it's...
Maybe you could come out to Rockstar by NERD. That's actually a tune. Maybe that could be the walkout tune.
It's not a bad shout. Not a bad shout.
Probably get some more money out of them as well if did that.
I don't think they're worried about selling more games, to be honest.
I'm sure they're not.
But no, it's a personal relationship. You know, with the Rockstar guys, they're like family now. They're invested on the journey, so you know they want to support us in any way they can. So we really appreciate it with them.
Maybe you could feature when you're world champion.
It's not going to make the edit, all right? Not going to make the edit.
You'd be in GTA 6 or maybe GTA 7 by then.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
Well, you got the spot to do it. Well, so what are you training now?
Yeah, we do a little bit. Yeah, do you want to do some? Do you want to hold him on pads?
Yeah, I'll hold the pads for him.
We'll get that on the camera. Hold him on pads. Warm your shoulders up, yeah?
Yeah, I'm feeling my ribs are going to go already. But this is exciting times, man. Because like I said, not lying, you told me about you a long time ago, and it's just been like a slow thing, and then finally it's like, it's happening. Yeah, and I obviously saw the fight in the Nationals, and I was like, oh, that's that guy, that's George's guy. And actually, I should say, someone collared me on Embankment, and they were like, you do the pod with George, don't you? I was like, yeah. He's like, look out for Lucas. Look out for Lucas.
Yeah. No, that's Uncle Kai.
Shout out Uncle Kai.
Owns the best coffee shop in London.
Best coffee going.
Chilson's Coffees, yeah.
Yeah.
So go grab your coffee next to the Tate. You know, the best.
Yeah, that's where it is. Yeah, next to the Tate, exactly.
Yeah, right by the
best
Tate.
Best coffee in London.
Was you at the Tate that day?
What I was doing? Yeah, probably was actually.
Yeah, any good?
Yeah, shite. Overrated. Well, that's like an old school episode.
Yeah,
well, isn't it?
But yeah, that's it. So we've got a guest in.
We're back. We've got a guest. Yeah.
We're back. We've got a guest in.
Don't know ring walk track yet though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Should we leave that? Leave that open?
Feature. Yeah, I reckon leave it open. People should suggest. Ask listeners suggest. What can you come up with? Lights out Lucas Roehig. You want it intense, but not too intense? You want to be sing-along, or what are you thinking?
Surprises.
Yeah, surprises. Could be anything.
Something that the fans can, grab onto, and that's can become synonymous with each time they see me fight. They hear that music, boom, that's Lucas Roehig. Lucas Lights Out Roehig.
There's got to be more songs than All of the Lights with the word lights in. We could do better than that, I reckon.
Your mate, Streets.
Shit, Blinded by the Lights is about taking drugs, though, isn't it? So probably, probably not the right sort of vibe, that one.
Yeah, I am the British Boxing Border Control anti-doping ambassador as well. So
oh, yeah?
Yeah. If it's about not
no.
taking drugs, we can have it.
It's
but
not.
Oh, fuck, no, I
It's
don't
very
forget
much
that
about
one.
taking drugs, so yeah. That was anything but that.
All right.
All right.
All right, lovely. Thanks
Lovely.
a lot, Lucas.
Yeah, cheers,
pal.
Lucas.
You've been in the club, you're in the club.
Yeah.
There we go, Declan, we're back. Should we have a little push and a pull?
We're back, baby. Nice one, Lucas.